slow down the AFC North yesterday?
Hey, that's every day's a new day. You never know what can happen.
What was your reaction when you saw that they were Miles getting traded?
I mean, he's a tremendous player. He's obviously been difficult for us over the years. They added another tremendous player, so that's about all I got.
We just had a chance to talk to Eric All. Can you just give us an update on what your progression plan for him is? And, you know, he spoke pretty honestly about what he's been through the last year and a half.
Mhm.
How have you seen him deal with all of that behind the scenes?
Yeah, it's challenging, to have the significance of the injuries that he's had, to miss a whole season, an extra season really, half of the first one and then the whole second one. So I know it's been challenging for him. I think he's handled it really well. Now we're just Now we're in the progression phase, getting back on the field. No contact or anything right now. We'll assess training camp as we get closer, but it's just been really good to get him on the field, have him back in the walkthroughs. I think mentally for him, that's probably been really helpful for him, just not standing over there doing the rehab phase of things. But he's got an attitude that you just love, and he loves football. That's very clear. He's very passionate about it. So to be able to get him back out there working with the guys has been big for all of us.
You've had, obviously, Jamar and T here for so many years with Joe. How is this time of year, if it is at all different for you and different this time around?
Well, it just sets the tone. When those guys are in the building working together, it shows, what we're capable of. There's still a lot of work we got to do, and there's still a lot of ways we got to grow as a team and as an offense. But when you have those guys out there, you feel their impact, and you get to see it firsthand, and maybe gives everyone a little pep in the step, as a team. Hey, we got some real playmakers here that can do some exciting things for us.
I asked T about what's left, what's the next step for the offense, and he had one word: championship.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty clear. It's the stats can change every year because of how we play games as a team and what the outcomes are. And you'd love to have a great team that has control of a game and is just closing it out on the ground, and that'll impact some stats. And that's a great thing for us if it goes that way. So we'll just keep working. We love the identity that we have. We're building that identity as a team right now, and there's still a lot of steps left for us to be able to do that before we play the season.
What's the next step in Jamar's evolution of his game, do you think?
Throw some passes. I don't know. He's always working. He's a guy that even when he wasn't here in the building is grinding, and you trust that. And then when he steps foot on the field yesterday for the first time, it's I don't know if he feels differently from when he left to here, but it looks the same to us, and there's just such an explosion there and confidence, and so he looks really good right now.
What's the best way to maybe maximize him? I know you don't throw the ball a ton last year.
I mean, he gets as many targets as anybody in the league. So to maximize, we've I would say Pitch does a really good job of staying on top of ways to be creative with him and make sure he's maybe harder to find sometimes. There's times you don't want to let people off the hook. You want to put them outside, and if you're going to leave them one-on-one, that's tough. But also ways that we continue to build him inside. I mean, he had a ton of targets in the slot last year. We've used him at the backfield. So I think we've been very creative. We'll always try to find ways to utilize him in different ways. To say to utilize him more is a challenge because he's Triple Crown winner 2 years ago. So we've obviously found ways to get him the ball.
A handful of the guys today mentioned that the energy has been a bit of a difference, and you spoke to the years coming back and being a part of this. Is there anything that you're noticing that adds to the energy shift, or does it feel about the same?
There is an excitement level, not just within our team, within the community, within the fan base. You feel that when you're out and about. Our players feel that in the building. It's hard to compare that to years past because every year is just so different. But right now, there's a lot of excitement in the locker room. The energy level is exceptionally high. It has been that way for several weeks, and then you add some of the guys back yesterday that came back yesterday. Just ramps it up even a further notch. So I think guys are really excited to put in the work and see what the team's capable of.
Like, what have your conversations been like with DJ Turner over the time he hasn't been here, and seeing him? What were kind of your first impressions?
Yeah, DJ's been great. Responds every time I reach out to him. Been training elsewhere, and so it's great to have him show up yesterday for OTAs and come in here and get the work in. And a little bit like he's never left. He walks in my office yesterday morning and it was the same guy, and He's a guy, yeah, I've got a ton of respect for, as I've said before. The way he handles his business, his energy level, his professionalism, the way he's trying to help his teammates. He's a big part of our locker room, and so it's good to see him that.
I mean, there's a lot of guys in his situation that would not participate right
Correct.
now. What does it say to you that he wants to be out there and wants to be on the field and is willing to do that?
Yeah, that he's one of those guys that's an integral part of our team, because as many guys you can have that helping this football team win is the most important thing, is what you want a locker room full of guys on. And DJ is certainly one of those guys that fits that category. And there's a business side of it that will be ongoing, but I love the way that he's handled it. I love the way he's communicated. I love the way his energy's been. I love the way he's worked. It's been great to get him back.
Coach, you said, maybe I heard it wrong, but you said Jamar says he feels differently, or
I didn't say that, no.
You didn't say that.
Yeah.
But how about just when you went on and you see these guys, I guess today, yesterday, anything stand out about the way they looked? Anything?
No, I just think, overall it's been a really good energy level from the team. You do feel that. That's something that's, the guys know that, again, I got to repeat it over and over, but there's still a lot of work we've got to do, but the guys are excited to put in the work, and they're excited to compete. They see the talent that's across the ball in all phases, and so they've been in the league long enough to know, what it's supposed to look like, and we got a lot of guys that are what it looks like, and so now we just got to come together as a team and put in the necessary work to be a good team.
Because of Burrow's injury, how much did y'all not get a chance to gauge what last season would have looked like with all the years under the belt with Joe, T, and Jamar? How much did that kind of set back what you wanted to get?
I wouldn't say it set us back. I mean, it's unfortunate, obviously, but I think we got a pretty good feel of what it can look like when those guys are out there together.
Is there any more of an appetite this time of the year for under center stuff? I know it comes up every year. It's never going to be the thing, but
Yeah.
is that being talked about?
I think there's always ways we're looking to evolve our offense, and a great way to play football is to have a lead with 8 minutes left in the game and find ways to milk the clock, and certainly running the football is a big part of that. And if there's ways you can blend that throughout the game, and we're always going to look for ways that can effectively elevate our offense, and we're not afraid to do whatever that's going to take.
In general terms, Zach, how's the rookie class coming along at this point?
Good. I think they got a good head on their shoulders. They're willing to work. No one that stands out in a negative way. A lot of positive guys that, are just humble and coming here and ready to work and try to earn an opportunity. And so I think overall from top to bottom, it's been a really positive class that way.
In the vein of the energy, it seemed like there was quite a bit at the end of practice, that little bonding exercise. Is that something new, or is that something you've done?
I was looking for ways to change it up every year, and so, just a little competition that'll take place over the next 2 weeks, and an offense or defensive winner. So we got 3 guys out there competing each day on each side of the ball, and so there's going to be a clear winner on offense or defense, who wins the majority of the 3 reps, and that'll carry over through next week.
What are they doing?
It's a 5-cone drill. So Joey lays out which cones you got to touch, and then it's whoever finishes first through the line.
It's basically like a suicide, like a basketball thing where the lines.
Yeah, there's 4 cones on the diameter. It's like a square, and then a cone in the middle. You got to touch the cone in the middle, and then touch whichever one he directed you. Always get back to home base in the middle, and then you got to finish through the line. So it's a drill I did in college with Dave Kennedy at Nebraska, and Joey trained under Dave at Texas A&M, and so we're bringing a little Dave Kennedy out here to training with our players today. Coach K will appreciate that.
Yeah, so what's the winner get? The winner you know?
Undetermined. I know, but you all don't need to know because they don't know yet. So
What are your thoughts on playing in Madrid?
I'm really excited about it. I think place I've never been personally, probably most of our team's never been, and so I just think it's exciting to continue to grow the Bengals brand internationally. I think we got a lot of exciting pieces to our organization that we'll be able to put on center stage and in front of the whole world. And so, it's certainly going in a direction where we're going to play more international games over the next 10 years. I mean, that's something that's very understandable. And so, excited that they selected us to go out there and play Atlanta, and I think our guys will be on board for it and put in some legwork, obviously, as an organization over this month to get ourselves ready, and then you'll dismiss it from your brain, and it'll come back up in November. But I think it's a great opportunity for us, and our guys are really excited, and we'll embrace it.
does the fact that you don't have a bye after it affect when you'll go over leading up to it?
No, I don't think one has to do with the other necessarily. We'll make those decisions separate. You can tell they're trying to condition you to understand you're not going to get the bye. Not every team's going to get the bye. I think only however many teams are going, 18 or whatever, 3 I think are getting the bye after the game. So, I mean, what is there to complain about? Nobody else is getting it really. So, it's just part of what you're going to have to accept as more international games come our way. That you're going to have to come back and get ready to play and make no excuses about it.
When Joe Burrow spoke to us a few weeks ago, he singled out Brian Cook a
Mhm.
couple of times for his leadership. What have you seen from Brian?
Vocal, not afraid. He's not going to bite his tongue. Irregardless of how long he's been, I'm not sure if that's a word or not, but how long he's been here, he's not afraid. Like, he knows what championship caliber defense looks like, and he's got the Super Bowl rings to prove it. So again, he's out here trying to help us set the standard as a team, not just on defense, but as a team. And so you need as many guys like that know what it's supposed to look like and are willing to help younger guys and not afraid to bite their tongue on their way to doing that, I think is a really positive thing for us.
Just getting back to Hall, he had such an impact in the brief 8 games
Mhm.
he was with you. I mean, what does he do that changes you?
He loves football, and he loves the physical portion of football. And that's I mean, the word physical in the dictionary is a picture of Eric Hall trying to put his face through somebody's soul. And that's the best way I can describe him.
What has Dante Myers shown you?
A bit of an unknown product for us coming from the CFL, and interesting journey. I think he was at Presbyterian, Delta State, CFL for so many years, been really productive. So just fun to watch. We'll learn more about him, obviously, over the offseason and during training camp. But he's made a solid impression, getting started, and so we'll just continue to build from that. And there's a lot of good competition in the receiver room that he'll be fighting against, and we'll just see how it takes shape.
After seeing the preseason schedule, are there any conversations about joint practices?
Yeah, we'll practice. We'll host Chicago for a day. So Chicago, we play them preseason game 2 on a Saturday, so they'll come here on Thursday.
Is it easy with Ben? I mean, the
It's
connection.
very easy. Yeah, very easy. Yeah, he's been great, and so he and I will iron that out over the next couple days, but they'll come here.
You guys are going deeper into June as far as like some of these OTAs and mini camps in years past. Is that just because the season is starting a week later, or
Yeah.
are you taking advantage of more of the dates?
We are taking advantage, I'd say, of a couple more days than we did last year, but also because everything's a week later. Labor Day's a week later, all that stuff. So our training camp start date's later. So I just get uncomfortable with too much of a break. So don't get me wrong, I like vacation and I like that time, but it's also we've got enough time off. So we'll go all the way to June 18th when we're allowed to go, and then take the break and be ready to come back in late July.
DJ Turner switching to 0.
Mm-hmm.
In college football, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have to earn that, so to speak?
Well, I think he has earned it. I wouldn't have done this just for anybody. I did it, was open to the possibility because, again, I think DJ represents a lot of the things that we take great pride in, and he's really earned that opportunity to ask. It's not a guarantee. I did apologize to Jesse Bates because Jesse had always wanted 3 and I'd always hold off, and DJ's quote to me was, "Jesse walked so I could run." So Jesse, I wasn't ready to crack when Jesse, but over time he wore me down, and so we just made a decision as an organization to let that happen.
Did you actually reach out to Jesse?
I did, yeah,
What did Jesse
I did.
say?
He's great. Jesse's always great, so he's good.